Hello, hi, hello to you. I am going to talk about the art supplies that I have been using in my sketchbook process. So I am chaos. This video is going to be a little chaotic, but I wanted to share it because I have been I've almost filled this entire sketchbook. And this one is an Archer and Olive sketchbook, which came in this box, and it is a favorite of mine now. It's got white pages, 160 grams. It's a great sketchbook. It has a lot of pages, so I generally can finish like a Talon sketchbook in about a month and a half. This I've had since the beginning of something of February 2019. So towards the end of February, I've been using this, and it is already May, and I am really close. I only have just a few pages left, so this one lasts me a little longer. I'm a person who sketches every day, and so it's really great that I can use this. It handles a lot of mediums pretty well, so that's what I've been using. I'm gonna switch my sketchbook for my next one just because I like to play it up, but this is what I've been using all of these supplies in, and they've been working really well. So I want to first talk about my watercolor palette. So right now, this one is what I am using. This one is the Christy Rice, just the hard palette. I wasn't a fan of her paints. They looked not up to quality, and I use artist grade with light fastness quality paints just because that's what I like. I think that they have the best consistency, and I really like the Schmincke brand. So I bought her empty palette and then had put my own paint in. I really love this part of this palette is that this is rose gold. That is just beautiful to me, and that's why I bought this. For what I filled in here, and these are the 12 colors I have been using for the past. I have this palette, and this is where I'm getting bogged down by all the colors that I have in this one. This one I can't remember where I got, but I think it was on Etsy, but I have all these colors in here. And this palette, I was just like, oh my goodness, there's so many colors, but you can see it's well loved. There's a lot I need to almost fill, but I haven't been reaching for this one as much just because I'm trying to make myself use a smaller color palette to really get mixing down, especially for things like skin tones. This is a skin tone that I have mixed a few times, but I just really want to get used to that. And so I started with 6 colors from this Schmincke Horadam. This is the retro palette that they came out with, and I had to have the colors, so I keep my tubes in here, and they're beautiful. And so this is the big color that I wanted, the cochineal red or cochineal red. I'm not sure. I just know it's made from bug pigment. So I really wanted to try this. And then there were a couple colors in here like cobalt blue light I didn't have yet. So I went with this. I think I have most of the other color. No, I didn't have cadmium yellow. I think the only color I actually had in this set was the cobalt green pure because I am a huge cobalt fan. So I was like, oh, more cobalt. I love the cobalt colors. So I've been using this. I enjoy these colors, but I wanted to add some extra colors. So this, and so there's like 6, and then I added some other colors. This one is cadmium red light. This is a Schmincke color. So I have a whole bunch of other Schmincke. So that's Schmincke. Otherwise, I've been trying Holbein watercolor. So this one is the Horizon Blue. I bought a tube of that. And then this one, oh wait, I don't have Shell Pink in this one. This one's in my regular palette. So I guess I don't have that one in here, but I do like it, and it's a new color. This one right here is Leaf Green from Holbein, and I really love it. I need to get a bigger pan of this because this is great. I could bottle. I could only find the 5 mil, and so that's what I got. And then this one is this. I love this. The Jean Brilliant #1. So it's like yellow, but this is really light yellow. It works great for mixing to make a little bit more of an opaque color, but it also works great like with flowers and just everything. I just really enjoy it. And then of course I always have to have my Brilliant Opera. This is in every single one of my palettes. I have tried pretty much every opera rose that is on the market, and the Horadam is my favorite. The Schminke is my favorite. I do also like Holbein's. Holbein's is a little bit different consistency. This just has more like neon granulation, which I love, but I don't care what brand it is. I have to have an Opera Rose. It just mixes the colors that I need, and it's one of my favorite colors. Another color that I do like in my palettes a lot is also the Brilliant Violet, but I don't have it in this one. So that is the watercolors. So I've been using them sporadically, but I love watercolors so much, and if I don't paint, I kind of go a little crazy. So I have this sketchbook, so I can talk about this. This is a Talon's Art Creation. Because I've been using my Archer and Olive one so much, and I missed my art creations, I pulled out this to throw in my purse because I kind of have switched to a smaller purse, and then this can fit my purse and my books. But I've been pulling out my watercolors just a little bit more, and I'm really proud of this, what I've done in just my sketchbook with my watercolors. So and this one. And so I'm pulling out my watercolors just a little bit more recently in my Talons, but I do have some in here that I have done. Let's see, where are they? I know that they're kind of further back here because I've been, let's see. Maybe I haven't lately. Oh yeah, here. So I drew this kind of an Adventure Time. I'm studying the Adventure Time book, so I kind of played with one of the scenes, but I put my dog and my nephew in it, as rather than Finn and Jake, it's Brutus and my nephew. And so my dog's name is Brutus, so you know. But yeah, and here too, because I'm kind of playing with my character and just trying to experiment. So I do use watercolor, just I haven't been using it as often as I've used other supplies. But I have solely pretty much been using this Derwent paint mark or paintbrush. So you put the water in here and it's a travel. I've always liked the Derwent, but I'm noticing that I don't like how like all the, you can see how gross it is. That's all that paint gets in there, like it sucks it back up. But this works so well, but I think it's time to replace this one. It's starting to get kind of icky and just not fun to work with as much, and I can't control the lines as much. But this is what I've been using because I get home and I don't want to even pull out my paint cup and water. But when I do pull out my paint cup and water, I've been using my Holbein Gouache. So I've been using this more. I put it in this wet palette so it seals and locks. And I've had this in here for months, and it's just drying on the top. So I really like this because it keeps it kind of wet, so I can actually use my gouache. And I've been actually using my gouache more than I have ever used it in the past. So that is one as well that I have been doing. I highly recommend getting something like this. This is a little travel palette that you can have these. So I got the small 5 milliliters of Holbein's 18 pack. So I don't have all the colors that it came with. I kind of had to pick 16. They make bigger ones, but I wanted something small. See, so it fits with my sketchbook well, and I can put it in a little pocketbook with me when I'm traveling. But I really like having it in here because then I'm using them rather than putting them on a palette. They're all in here. So then I don't have to pull out anything more than this and water and a paintbrush, and that has been really helpful for me to use my paints. And that is all I've been using for paints. I repurposed my Archer and Olive box for this. I highly recommend repurposing their boxes if you buy their product. Their product is expensive, but it's beautiful, and these boxes last, and it's great for travel. I throw this in my backpack, but inside I have all my Neocolors, and my Neocolors I'm actually currently using for a 100 heads challenge. I'm only using Neocolors because I really want to become better with these, and I just love them. I don't have all the colors. I have quite a few, but I don't have every single one, but you can see which ones I'm using more than I am others. Like this one I haven't taken down, but this one's getting down there, and so is this one. Like, they're all just kind of at different lengths. I don't think I've even used this light blue much because it's not even, like, the original tip isn't down. But I have been using these for this challenge, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying just working with crayons. It makes me feel like a kid again, but I also love that I can play with these with water since they're the set, like the Neocolor 2s. So I can get different textures and different feelings. And so that's one of the tools I have been using the most, like, because it's just nice to just throw in my backpack with my whatever sketchbook, and that one's one of them that I'm using the most. The others, so my pencils, these are what I'm using for pencils as of lately, and I don't think my pencils have changed much. They don't really change all that often. Maybe colors that I'm using, because sometimes I use different colors. So my tried and true, my favorites are always going to be the Pilot Color Enos. These come in, I think, 6 or 7 different colors, maybe 8. I have all the colors. I just know there's 2 blues, a green, a yellow, a purple. Purple is one of my favorites to use, but I have been using these colors for underneath everything because a lot of times red will disappear when you're using watercolors and things. So that's one I use for watercolors, which is why I also have my Blackwing red. So I use these kind of the same way. And these ones are really great too. I use these for when I'm inking and whatnot. They're a lot lighter, so you can't really see them. I don't like to do these in videos because they don't pick up on the camera very well, but they're really great base layer. When I am using regular pencils, I do like this one. I actually have a light blue from the color Eno Lead. I actually have the light blue in my Unikuro Togo right now. This is one that does that really cool mechanical thing where it keeps your lead great. So I really enjoy this. I also really enjoy the fine tip on it because you can get a really good tip. So that's one that I have been using quite a bit. But my Blackwings are when I want to use a regular pencil. So the matte one is really great for dark shading. It's very soft. I think it's their softest lead. And the pearl is kind of their balanced. It's kind of soft, kind of hard. And I had to get the pink pearl ones because, I mean, just look. And they also, this one I have had to replace the eraser, but they come with blue erasers usually. These pink ones do. And they also have blue pearl ones, so I do like those. My favorite, however, is the Blackwing Natural. This is their firm lead, so it keeps its point the longest. You can see even these I've used recently, and they keep their points different. So this one I obviously don't use as much as these two. So you can tell which one I use the most because it's the smallest. I've also used like 3 of these down to the nub. I have these in boxes. They are quite spendy, but I do love that Blackwing has a introductory box where you can get all 4 of their types of pencils. And then if you like them, they give you, I think it's $10 off 1 box of your favorite pencil. So I did that to decide which one I liked, and then I liked them all because I like them all for different things, and they're great pencils. I just love Blackwing. I love their pencils so much. And what I had their pencil sharpener, but I've switched to this, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like this little bullet. This thing is heavy, and it is so wonderful. I saw it, I think Natasha Newton here on YouTube had it, and I needed it. So this is always in my bag. I love that I can put it, I think I'm gonna get a couple more so I can just throw them in different bags so that I don't lose one and then be depressed. This is what I sharpen my Neocolors with because they need to be sharpened in a bigger one. And I like that this is just compact and tiny. I could sharpen my regular pencils in here, but I don't because I like this guy. So they just have different blades. And this one is, you can even look, I think this one's a little thicker. Not sure, but I know that this blade is a premium German blade, where this one doesn't have that. So my pencil sharpeners. Yes, the final coup de grace is what I have been using the absolute most, and that is my pens and inks. So I want to talk about a little bit of what I've been using for fountain pens. I'm not going to go really in depth with these. I do want to go in depth in a video of just pens and inks and talk about the different properties and like what I have discovered, because I got into fountain pens in the last couple years and I've really grown my collection, and I've tried some really expensive pens. I've tried some really cheap pens. I've tried kind of the spectrum to see where I'm landing. So these ones right here are mid-range and then a really expensive pen. And so I want to talk about just a couple different ones. My TWSBI Ecos. So this one, because it's bronze, was a little bit more. This one just came out. It's the Cafe Latte one, and I had to have it. This one I think has a fine point, and it's got Pilot ink in it, and I will talk about that ink later. It's not a waterproof ink, so this one I would only use for pen work. This one is I think this one's another fine one. I think these are all fine. No, this is an extra fine. And these all have Pilot ink in, except this one. This one has Sailor ink, which is this is a bright pink. And then this one's a blue. But I have been using these, and I kind of want to show how I use just like water-based ink rather than like permanent ink. I will do a lot of work, like ink work that I've been doing. Let me get to it, where I do a full page, and I really love how these full page spreads of ink are turning out. Like this is actually done with this one and this color. So this is the color that's in that, and that's what I'm doing. So this one I used a blue Pilot or blue color underneath, and then this is what I drew over it. So I have been loving doing these ink pages because I can sketch it out, and then I take my ink pen, and that's all I need to take. I've also been doing a lot of just sketching with my pens because I just love my pens. I love the colors. I love that I can switch inks and just take one thing with me. So, I mean, that is all over in my sketchbook, especially this current sketchbook. Playing with line, playing with shape, playing with different kinds of things to make a different, really cool spread. So that is those. I've been using my TWSBI Ecos I like to take with me because they range from, these ones are $30. This one was $50 because of the bronze, but $30 for a pen that is a little less. If I lose it, I'm not going to be as sad. But I also take my Kaweco Sports, and these range from extra fine to double broad nibs. And so I take those with me too, because I can get those sometimes for like $16. And that, at that price, I really don't mind them. These ones, however, are a little bit more expensive, but I love the way that this one writes. This one writes kind of like a pencil. It's extra fine, but it is just wonderful. This is the Pentel Curidas, and it was $50 on sale for Black Friday. And so I got one of these, and this is extra fine, like I said. But what I love about this one is it's a click rather than a lid. So this one's pretty much lives with me. This one just comes with me everywhere I go. I also have this in a medium now. I just love this mechanic. This one a lot of people kind of struggle with because it's a little bit hardier of a version of the Pilot Decimo, the Vanishing Point. This was like the original like clicker fountain pen, and this one I got for a Christmas present, and I love this. I don't take it out of my house very often, but I do love to use it, and so This one as well is a super fine nib. Pilot is known for making finer nibs, so it's extra fine, so it's like tiny, 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 so it's almost like scritching and scratching, especially like a super fine pencil, so I love that. But then I also, this one is one that always comes with me. It's a diamond TWSBI. So I've been kind of transitioning my TWSBIs into these nicer ones because I don't want 600 of these. I have 2 of these diamond ones, and I can take this part off and then change out the nib. So that makes it really nice to be able to just have 2 and then have all the sizes of nibs. So that's what I've been doing. And this one specifically just always has my document ink black, and that's my waterproof black. So these are the inks that I've been using the most. And I have these document inks in just these colors. So I have a sepia brown, and I love this red gray, and a black. The black is what's in here. And then this one actually has the red gray. So I have 2 of these with the document inks. They don't hurt they don't make my pens really gross like the Rohrer and Klingner inks sketch inks did. So I used those before, but they were really, yeah, really just different. But the Diatramentis I love. I stumbled upon these, and these are fantastic. And what I love about this document ink is there's tons of different colors. So I've been kind of going, when I order from Van Ness, this is I get these little samples of ink so I can try out the ink. But that is what I have been using. So I hope that that gives you kind of an idea of what I've been using in my videos. It's all this stuff. Like, this stuff is what I have been using. So I hope that really helps, and I hope you have a great day and go to create some art, because making art is fun. Bye.